Once again, it's a pleasure to have you, and I'm here to take you through a segment on how to use Grammarly. So, when Grammarly is already activated into your computer, each time you want to use Grammarly, you have to make sure that your machine has an internet connection. As you can see, I am connected. So, I can launch Grammarly from my browser. I'll launch from my browser, and since what I want to do is I want to check my work, especially a research paper wherein I may be required to put my Grammarly report as part of that paper upon during submission. So I'll have to type app.grammarly. When I type app.grammarly, I'll take this first option, Grammarly Free AI Writing Assistance, and it should be able to open. As you can see, Grammarly Free AI Assistance opens. I am doing this because Grammarly had already been registered, installed, activated in this my computer. So at this point, I will come to, I am at my Grammarly. So I want to check a paper I had written. So I will take upload and I will locate where my paper is in my machine. I should be able to know where the paper is. So I'm going to look at where my paper is located in my computer. Yes, let me work on this paper. When I click on the paper, this is a sign to show that that paper is loading. Grammarly is loading the paper into the working space where you have everything checked. This is the first time I am doing this, so you can see it says welcome to Grammarly editor. I'll click continue. The first thing you do when you upload your work into this working space is that you set your goals. You tell Grammarly what to do with your work. So I am going to come straight away to this section where I have goals, and I will tell Grammarly that this is an academic paper. It is an essay, and that the formatting style is Chicago. When this is done, I take done. This it, what I just did is this goes, that is the lens through which Grammarly will use to see this paper. So at this point, Grammarly has already checked this work. This work is already checked for grammar. That is why when I come to correctness here, this menu where I have review suggestions, I am told that I have 180 issues. If I click on corrections in my work, corrections are highlighted. Anything that has an issue, it will be painted like this. When it's painted, I have to read what Grammarly suggests at this angle. If I accept it, I click accept, and the correction is effected immediately in my work. I scroll through my work. Wherever I see anything that Grammarly has pointed out, I click on it and look at the suggestions that it is giving me. And if I read through and see the suggestion that is fine, I click OK, and the suggestion is effected in my work. That is how you do. At the time you are checking your work, you are not supposed to be typing again. Grammarly has already checked the work and will just make suggestions for you to either accept or you dismiss the suggestion. So I check my engagement. These are issues that have to do with engagement. If I check on delivery, I will see issues that have to do with delivery. Just read through what is suggested and either agree or you disagree. And to tell you that Grammarly will likely always speak the truth. So it is good to, before you disagree, you should be sure that indeed what Grammarly is suggesting does not fall in place with what you are writing. One thing Grammarly does is that Grammarly faults you for all passive voice, the passive voice you use in your work. But in your academic pursuit, passive voice may not be a problem unless your teacher or facilitator tells you that a passive voice, that you should write only in active voice. But Grammarly will understand only active voice. So when it faults you for passive voice, just ignore it. That may not be a major issue to wrestle with. At this point, after checking your grammar as suggested here, you click on check for plagiarism and AI text. AI means artificial intelligence. We live at an age where people can just go online and ask robots or artificial intelligence to write for them. And Grammarly will be able to spot such texts, the texts that were written not by you. So it will detect what was written by artificial intelligence. As you can see right now, Grammarly is checking my work for plagiarism and for artificial intelligence text. So I just have to relax while this is being accomplished. While waiting for that, one thing also is that Grammarly is configured to understand only English. So if you use Hebrew or Greek in your work, it may fault you for artificial intelligence because it is seeing your work only in the lens of English only. So if there is Hebrew or Greek, you will be faulted for having used artificial intelligence. And if that's the case, you will ignore. You just have to uh, ignore where the suggestion is saying you have used artificial intelligence. As you can see, I've checked this work for plagiarism, and Grammarly is highlighting this section and many others, telling me that this very section I have put here is found in the internet at this place. This is the source. So if you read and you are sure that you actually did not reference this source properly, you just click reference, go to your work and reference it properly. Grammarly helps you. It does not just fault you for plagiarism, but it helps you to get the source in the right format. So you don't need any formatting to put this source in order. It's giving you in the format that is acceptable. Like as you can see, my format is the Chicago style. So you just have to go through your work wherever you see Grammarly faulting you for plagiarism, the source will be suggested. You copy the source and reference it properly. At some point, you could still reference the source and yet you are faulted for plagiarism. In that case, what you need to do is you need to maintain your reference and rephrase your work. Rephrase your work not to be in the same wordings as you have it in the internet. Just maintain the thought or the idea that you are communicating at the place where you are at the moment, maintaining the reference you had met. If that is affected, the plagiarism percentage of your work should drop. As you can see, the plagiarism percentage of my work is 9%. I am told that 9% of my work of this document matches external sources. So meaning that there is a percentage of this work. So what if I just need to go through my work and effect and handle areas where it is alleged that I plagiarize. Remember that you may not have plagiarized, but to prove that you have not plagiarized, you have to rephrase the work to be in your statements and not have the sentence exactly the way someone else has used it in his or her book and it is in the internet. At this point, I am going to be moving to show you how you could produce a Grammarly report. You can see that Grammarly has scored this paper. I have 92. So looking at the content and the grammar of this work, Grammarly suggests that this paper scores this paper at 92%. This is the grade that I may likely have, but it still depends on the teacher who knows what is expected from this assignment that will be able to give me what he thinks is fit for this paper. But Grammarly is suggesting 92%. At here, I have a brief summary of this what this paper is all what it contains. I'm told that this paper has 87,031 characters. This paper has 6,123 words. It has 317 sentences. And if I were reading this paper, I will be able to use about 24 minutes, 29 seconds. And if this was a paper for presentation, I can present this paper in 47 minutes, 6 seconds. That is to say that if you were teaching or preaching, that is to say, you are giving and explaining. You should be able to use over 47 minutes something in this paper. So I am going, if you look at this point, you see I can download the Grammarly report of this paper. So just go ahead and click on prepare download report. In a while, I should be informed that this report has been downloaded. I just keep my eyes close to this point, this angle of my screen, and just waiting as the paper is being downloaded. I can actually check the download process instead of just waiting. I go to downloads and nothing yet. So I am told that it is still preparing PDF report. So I just need to exercise a bit of patience while waiting for Grammarly to give my report to me. So this could also be taking a while depending on the strength of my network. So my network has to be strong in order for me to have it presented to me fast. So the report is somehow taking some time. Yes, my report has been downloaded. You can see I've been informed this is my report. So I click on open the report. I open, I, let me open the report. This is the Grammarly report I just downloaded. Yes, this is my Grammarly report. Yes, this is the title of the paper, Exegetical Paper in the Prophetic Book by, this is the author. I did not have to put my name here. My name is gotten from the email that I used to sign in my Grammarly in this account. That is why it is good to have your own computer, because the moment you check any document and you are presenting a report, the email name will automatically appear in the paper. So this is a paper by Chue Fredulin. The summary we already saw the other way, it is here. I am told that this paper is scored at 92%. This is my grade. And I am told that there were 178 issues pointed out in my paper, and 51 are critical. These are issues not handled. 51 of them are critical, and 127 of them are advanced. The plagiarism percentage of my work is 9%, and it's alleged that I plagiarized from 35 sources. So you see, and this is a summary of the plagiarism report. As far as the engagement of work is concerned, I have 4 word choice issues. As far as clarity of my work is concerned, I have passive voice, 43 passive voice misuse. Remember, I told you that there is no problem with passive voice. Each time Grammarly faults you for passive voice, just relax. It's not a major issue for now as far as our writing is concerned. Grammarly understands only active voice. I have 17 intricate texts, 12 wordy sentences, 3 unclear sentences, 1 hard to read sentence. As far as my delivery is concerned, incomplete sentences, 4 inappropriate colloquialism. I have 17. I have tones issues, 4. You see, this is the summary of your work. When it gives the summary in the first 3 pages, as you have seen, it is going to take me to my paper again and highlighting especially those areas where it was alleged that I plagiarized and I ignored, I did not handle the thing. This means that these places that are underlined, these words are found in the internet and I copied and did not reference the source. Or I referenced the source poorly, and that is why it is highlighted here. Let me move quickly to, as you can see, there's an issue here. This text here suggests that Grammarly does not understand Hebrew. That is what it has done to this text. That is not a major issue, something just to ignore. And if you move to the end of your work, you are going to see that it's going to give you a summary of all the things that were highlighted for you to handle and you did not handle them. Grammarly is going to tell you that I asked you to handle this one, I asked you to handle this one, you didn't handle. I asked you to do this one, you did not. So these are all the things that were suggested and I ignored or I accepted them. I see it at the end of the report. So this is how you do your Grammarly report. This is how you do a Grammarly report. Remember that you can't do it when you are working on Word. You can only do a Grammarly report by launching your browser and